This is LaviniaRossetti, Italian jewelry maker. Currently busy with a research on jewelry and the role of the relation between the body and the object, and with a performer together.
Yeah, together with Elisa Zuppini, we are conducting our research in Antwerp in the Royal Academy of Arts. Yes. So now I'm based in Belgium temporarily.
Yeah. And I invited you for a talk about filigree because you made work, and it's a collection called Pigreco.
Yeah.
And it's work made of twisted wires, and
Yeah.
I consider it to be a new application for filigree, this work. So it's really the thing that is capturing air. That's what filigree is all about, that you make the biggest amount of surface with the least amount of material. And I thought that you were doing that really well, and it's so light and has a volume, and also the earrings.
Beautiful thing that Eva said, it's like she considered this filigree because the ability of the pieces of grasping hair, which I find it very beautiful. And actually what I'm aimed to do with my work is to create voluminous pieces with a less amount of material, and so that they are very light and very pleasant to wear, and they move with the body. Yes, as you can see, I mean, the link that I can find with filigree, maybe it's in this piece. I can see it more because I'm using twisted wire. Yeah.
And you really expand the volume, right? It's very open.
Yeah. It's what I try to do. It's like to make airy construction. Yeah. And they are super light. Yeah. And I'm very fascinated by the possibility of the wire and how far I can get by twisting them and using them in rigid, and some parts rigid, some part movable, and yes, so I play
connections also. Yeah.
And the other connection that I can see with filigree is like I'm using a very repetitive methodology of the work, because I repeat the same pattern, changing the scale and constructing through this variation of dimensions.
And what do you consider to be jewelry? Filigree, should it be more soldered or more inlay, or
I think
inlay in a flat surface?
Not flat. I really appreciate the filigree, which is three-dimensional. I think it's very interesting, but of course I consider filigree the work of colleagues that have been studying it and try to make it more between contemporary or more modern, but still linked to the traditional craft.
So like your friend Valentina
there
Caprini?
are several colleagues, for example, in Italy that are using these techniques in a more contemporary way, like Valentina Caprini or Carla Movi. I saw that she's making a beautiful work in filigree, in traditional technique, and they are using the traditional techniques, but they are trying to bring it to a more contemporary level. So they're combining contemporary design together with the traditional skill, by using traditional skills of the filigree.
Because Valentina Caprini is also 3D printing the frame and then laying it in with
a few pieces of her. She's combining new technology with traditional. I think would be interesting to talk to her also. Her experience as well.
And so in Holland we have this year our last Dutch filigree master who learned in a traditional way from father to son. He's retiring, so his tacit knowledge, that is like a span of a working life of 65 years, it will get lost, and which is very sad. So I'm trying to find new ways to transmit knowledge and to also make people enthusiastic about this technique. And because for myself I really like to make the filigree and to use this monotonous
meditative.
Yeah, that it has meditative
Approach.
aspects. And you also, do you consider this also to work for you as a...
Yeah, as you can see from my pieces, there is this rhythm which is also always present. My methodology is to use to repeat many times the same pattern and combine it. So of course this is I use this kind of approach.
And does it also have this effect on you?
Yeah, it's also the only way I can really work with, because for me it's working. It's my way of expressing what I have in mind by using modular pieces, repeating them, it's kind of embroidery, but made in another way, made with little flame and metal wire.
Yeah.
So yes,
and it is like a mental gym, right?
It's a mental gym, but I can't say that I do it because of that, but because it's the only possibility I have to express myself. So I didn't plan it; it just came naturally.
Yeah, but it can. You do also feel this effect, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think that's interesting for people for people who can find a new hobby. Can try this technique in the basics, and maybe of course the soldering is very difficult, but you can also go around the soldering bit.
Sure, yeah.
So it's for anyone who's interested in making can try this, right? With the basic
I think also wire, it's quite confident medium.
Yeah.
You get confident with the wire because it's not so difficult to approach and you can easily manipulate it.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting what you are doing, like to give possibility to everyone to approach the technique in a very basic way, and that it's important because they can get interested to the craft as well, which is is disappearing. So at least more people can get interested to that. And
that's the aim.
As you said, in the Netherlands is disappearing, in Italy as well. I mean, we had a big tradition of filigree, but it's slowly disappearing. And for example, we have a big tradition in Liguria, in Campo Ligure, where Valentina Caprini have been working with masters and studying there, and they were used to have a lot of workshops, but they are slowly disappearing, and it's getting very hard because it's, as you know, it's a time-consuming technique, and it's not worth to.
It's hard to make profitable.
Yeah, and also people probably is less interested in
how it looks.
That's why it's important that new generation of makers can bring it to another level, more appealing also, but still using the traditional
techniques to get it also to keep the technique for future generations.
I think it's very important, and it's very good that you are busy with this.
Thank you. Trying, and thank you for being open enough to talk about your work here, and to give me a chance to try this.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you so much.
It's interesting, and I'm looking forward to see how it's going to evolve.
Yeah, me too. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.